Road test coming up this week, conference game, an important game. So we have to have a good week of practice. I think this is going to be a good test for us. Physical defense. They play hard. They play aggressive. They play downhill. They take chances. They take risks, and we're going to have to be really good at finding ways to defeat it and take care of the ball while we do that. And offensively, they spread it around, and we've got to play good defense, which has been good through 3 games, and we'll be tested on the road this week. And it'll be a good experience for our guys, and it's an important game. Because it's the next game, but it's also a conference team on the road that knows how to play good football, and they've been doing it for a long time now. So we did not have success there 2 years ago, and we'll have to play much better this time around.
Jeff, last year you ran for over 200 and threw for almost 300 against them. Is there anything different with their defense? What's different than with their defense this year, or is there anything different with their defense this year? Kind of your thoughts on just how aggressive they do play.
Well, as we've gone back and looked at last year's game, to be quite honest with you, we played as good as we could play. I mean, it was a really well-executed game plan by our guys on both sides of the ball. We were able to defeat the blitz early on against Pittsburgh, which really helped us move the ball and get points. And once we got a lead, which is always important, we were in the driver's position the rest of the way out as far as controlling the ball and making them throw the ball more than they wanted to, which really helped our defense. So that's going to be key once again, is you've got to have a good plan to defeat all their pressures. And even when they play base defense, they got a lot of guys down in the box supporting the run and playing aggressive, and they'll pressure on the outside. They're not going to give up any easy completions. You're going to have to earn it. So we just got to have a good plan and be able to execute it early, and that was the key to success last year. So we'll see. I'm sure they've watched the film as well, and we'll have a few adjustments here and there to see if we can gain an edge. But they test you, and that's why they've been so great against the run and so really good on defense, because they are aggressive, and you have to have some different elements to try to take advantage of it.
Coach, what's the status and the nature of the injury of Duke Watson and Isaac Brown, and what's their status for Saturday at this point?
Both have lower leg injuries that they're trying to heal up from, and hopefully we get them back, but I will not know until later in the week.
When you looked at tape, what was better than you thought, not as good as you thought, or what were your impressions when you got a chance to take a hard look at that game?
From this past week, well, I thought we came ready to play. I thought Miles executed well, threw the ball accurately, and did a good job there. There are a couple things here and there that he can do better, but we've recognized that, and getting the ball out of his hands versus the blitz and doing things like that, we can maybe be a little bit better. We've got better on the offensive line, recognizing and playing overall, but there's still some elements that we have to clean up without question. We had too many penalties that hurt us on some big plays and brought them back, and we've got to clean that up. That can really stall some drives and stall momentum. But overall, I thought we did better. I think defensively we played solid football. 2 big plays at the end of the game we gave up to give them 2 touchdowns. Other than that, we were very solid throughout the game, and that's been really good through 3 games. We know that we will be much more tested against the offenses we face from here on out. So we'll see exactly how we stack up, but it is off to a good start. And special teams, we definitely have done a good job, and it's definitely helped us. And to be that consistent in the kicking game and in the return game has been a huge plus. So if we can continue to do that against really good opponents, will definitely help us moving forward.
Jeff, obviously you have a lot of new pieces in the secondary, but still have some solid pieces with Antonio and D'Angelo. Just seems like that passing defense is good a little better, especially that secondary. What have you liked from that particular group?
Well, I think our secondary's played well, and we've done a good job, and that's been good to see. Now, we have not faced passing teams, not 1 week, so how good we're going to be is still to be determined. But we practiced well. I think our starting corners have played really solid football and are very talented. I think we have some backups that can come in and do a pretty good job. Our safeties have played well. We've had pretty good linebacker play that's been consistent. It did hurt not having Stan Kwan, but the others got to step in there and be a little more consistent, which they can. And I think our D-line has been consistent up until this point. So that's the positive, and not to keep bringing it up, but, we're going to face much better offenses as we move forward from here on out the rest of the year. So being consistent, making sure that we're still creative in our attack and not too vanilla will be important. You can't just rely on a few things that have worked against certain opponents and think they're just going to continue to work. So we've got to really continue to make sure we're coaching and doing the right things properly to change some things up and give different looks and pressure the quarterback and play aggressive on the outside without getting the ball thrown over our head. So I think, we'll see moving forward how we stack up, and this will be a big week for us.
Jeff, if your running game is hindered by Isaac or Duke being limited, if not out of the lineup, how comfortable are you now 3 games in with Miller Moss of saying we're going to have to pass more, we're going to have to, it's going to be the passing game that wins a game?
Well, I think Miller's an accurate passer, and we definitely opened it up a little bit more this past week and allowed him to get in a rhythm and spread the ball around. That is good. Getting Colin Lacey touches a lot of ways, not only a receiver, but in the backfield and in the slot and in the return game is important to make sure that happens. Chris Bell played through some things this past week, which we appreciate that, and hopefully we can get him back closer to 100% as we get to this next game. Some other receivers stepped in and did a good job. So, I think that all those things have to be ready to go. I think when you play good teams, especially Pittsburgh, they're going to challenge every route you throw, and nothing will be run against off coverage. They're going to press you no matter what they're playing. They're going to disrupt your route. They're going to hold you and grab you. They're going to do all those things that throw off the timing and the rhythm, and you have to be strategic in what you're calling and what you're doing, and also, have some misdirection and some run game available as well, and not put all the pressure on the passing game. We've done that before, and that can sometimes backfire into turnovers and mistakes. So, but there's going to come a point in time where, in the course of the game, you're going to have to throw the ball a lot. There's going to come a time where you got to run it a lot, and we've got to be good at both.
Coach, the James Madison game, they brought a lot of pressure. Pitt does, they're number 1 in sacks. What's different about that, and what could you learn and apply from that game to this one and what they do?
Well, I think we learned a lot from James Madison. They brought the house multiple times, and we did not make them pay. And when they did that and it worked, they kind of kept doing it, and we weren't able to respond and react accordingly, and it affected the game and affected the confidence and the ability to continue to be aggressive because we were getting pressure. I thought we had a better plan this past week. This past team didn't do it. I thought they would maybe take some things from the previous game, but they did not. Pitt naturally plays aggressive. Now, I don't know if it's all out overload protections and zero, but they are playing downhill. They got a lot of guys in the box, and they're blitzing from all over. So you have to kind of know where it's coming from, have some answers. When teams are doing that, how do we get the ball out quick and effectively is important. These guys press a lot when they do that, so you're not going to have wide open passes. So you've got to really study what will work and what will not. So I just think this team has been doing this package for a long time, and it's effective versus a lot of teams. And when they play good on offense, it marries up well with what they do, and they're very effective last year. I think they started 7 or 8-0, and then ran into a couple speed bumps and maybe had some injuries. So they know how to play the game, and it's definitely built around their defense and their attacking aggressive style.
Jeff, you've always talked about special teams, and you've always spent extra time in fall camp and doing some things. Did you do anything different this year? It just seems like in all phases of special teams, you're a little bit better than maybe what you even were the last couple of years.
Well, we do work hard at it. Coach Greg Noor was over here last week. He helped us out on some things, and was shocked we spent so much time on special teams because he was a special teams coach. I said, yeah, we spend all kinds of time on special teams, which we do. But I think Coach Mislowski's done a good job. We studied the trends and what's worked, what's not. I think our kicking game has been consistent. Our kickers have kicked well. The adjustments we made to improve that has been beneficial in protection-wise and getting the ball down and being accurate. We put pressure on our kickers in practice every day with pressure kicks, not just kicking it without pressure, but we'll bring the whole team up and, gassers or up-downs will be riding on their kicks. That's important to do that, so we've been consistent there. Our kickers have worked hard. We're able to kick the ball to the end zone, which is very effective. We've got to this point, a very accurate extra point and field goal kicker. And then we have Nick, who can kick it a long ways, except it's a little bit flatter, but he can kick a long ways, which he showed in the game. And then I think with Colin in the return game, we have a dangerous weapon, and we blocked well. So those have been pluses. Just like with our defense, and overall, we're going to face some teams just like us that have talent and they're well coached, and we'll see how good we can continue to be, but I think we're off to a good start.
Jeff, with a guy like Colin, who can hit a home run, seems like just about any time he gets the ball, how much easier does he make the offense, and how fun is it to try to figure out different ways of getting the ball?
Well, that's what's great about Colin. He is a hard worker. He practices every day. He is tough. I remember last year, even when he had his injury, he came back against Notre Dame. The day of the game was the first day he could be back, and he played well. So that says a lot. And then he came back in the bowl game after being out all year and played well. So he does everything you want as far as his work habits, his practice habits, his toughness. So yes, we're going to continue to try to make sure he gets his touches because he's a competitor. And I think, when you have a guy like that, it's a great sets a great example for the team. It definitely helps us, and we're definitely going to try to give him the ball.
When you're playing, when you start, say, conference play after like games you've had, yes, you're playing better teams. How often have you seen your team kind of step it up, or they kind of dial in a little more and see your own guys lift it up? How often does that happen in your career when it just kind of, it jumps for you too?
Well, I hope it happens, this week. It's going to have to. And every year is different. Sometimes you have some good early competition that kind of sees where you're at and you make adjustments, which is what I like. And other times you ease into it, so to speak, with the level of competition, and now you get into conference play. So, we've got to just understand that, it's going to be a 4-quarter game. Every possession matters. How we execute, how we play, the cleanliness of it, and the ability to be crisp in what we're doing is important. And yes, you have to be efficient. As we even the last couple of years here, when we played really efficient football, we can play really good. But man, it's not. The other team's trying to do the same thing, so it's not always going to happen. You just got to be able to snap out of it when they get the momentum. You got to be able to, not have too many negative plays or turnovers or costly things on defense where you give up big plays that really change the tone of the game. So that's going to be important. Is just keeping it close, trying to make big plays. But if it is close, you got to just hang in there and just continue to fight through it and hope that they make a mistake and we can be consistent in our play and find a way to win. But it's always going to be a battle in every conference game unless you're just playing lights out.
It seems like the tone of what you're saying is kind of still yet to be determined for a lot of things as far as this football team. But just from what you've seen through 3 games, do you have kind of a pulse on what you feel like for lack of a better term, potential of this team could be, or what do you feel like, so far is what you're expecting to see moving forward?
Well, I like our team. I think we worked hard. We prepared hard. I think we have a good plan. We've shown good signs, and we've showed some signs where we need to improve. It's still yet to be determined. I think, playing good competition as we're getting ready to will determine where we're at and what else we need to improve and get better at. But I'm always deep down, until I get to the game, fearful of losing. So you gotta prepare, and you've got to work on the things that you need to try to be precise, and then you go cut it loose, get in the game day, and you believe in yourself, and you play confident. But we got to play well, and we've got to use these 3 games and improve on some of the things that we have not been as sharp on, and make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes. So that's going to be important as we proceed forward, and definitely going on the road is always a challenge, and you've got to be mentally ready for everyone on the team to know that they have to play their best, and they have to be ready to go, and they have to play as hard as they can, no matter what, until the game's over, and then we'll see what the score is. And I just think you need everyone to buy into the fact that that's how you win the game, not by saving yourself or saying you've already arrived and you're too talented. No, you got to put in the work, and you got to be able to battle on game day, and that's what we got to show on Saturday. Thank you.